Hey, what is up, everyone? Mike Chase here, back again on College Football 25, and we are doing some off-season stuff here. We have a bunch of not a bunch, we have 4 players who want to leave. David Fisher could not be persuaded, so now we have Caleb Weaver, strong safety. Can we persuade him to stick around? The answer to that question is no, we cannot persuade him. That's failed. I know it's going to be the running back's going to stay, right? So that's why I went here, right? Left tackle doesn't want to stay either. Of course, my third string running back wants to stay, which is, yeah. I probably shouldn't even hit persuade on that. So either way, here's the recruiting class as it stands right now. I have to remove some of these guys from here, but the recruiting class came out all right, actually. Still have some guys that we're trying to get here. This is the transfer portal section of transfer portal. Still kind of players who haven't committed yet. So gonna do a hard sell here on Terrence Hicks. See if we can get him 2-star defensive end, actually a 3-star. Dwayne Millhouse, linebacker, who I would like to actually get in here. Some of our linebackers are a little bit older. Here's another athlete, but projects out to be a linebacker. Going to try to hard sell him on aspirational. So a bunch of players that we can still get who are actually pretty decent. So I'm going to try to get some of these guys. It's going to be tough, though, because as some of the bigger schools start to recognize maybe some of the holes on their team, they're going to start going for these guys to kind of fill them up. Some of these guys are transfers. You'll see it'll say TR right there, and then it'll say if they're freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, or stuff like that. So a couple transfer guys in here who are interested in coming here. So I kind of wish it would say what school they're coming from. I have to go and look that up actually itself. Actually, some of these guys, but either way. This guy, not a transfer, is a high school player, but looking through some of these guys here, this guy's a transfer, is a center, so already has some experience playing, I assume. I'm not sure. Again, doesn't say where he came from. Maybe there's a reason why it doesn't say that. Save some of these schools would maybe get embarrassed if you had a transfer, but as we go throughout here, there is going to be a defensive tackle transfer that we're interested in. And here it is, Quinzavious Warren. He is from UTEP, and we did lose to UTEP, and I wasn't too happy about it. So we're going to try to steal one of their defensive tackles away from them. Again, this is the fun of it, this stuff. You get to steal players from other schools once you in the transfer portal. So we're looking pretty good here in some of these guys. Some of these other players. This was a guy that we were in first place on, the outside linebacker, but TCU jumps in on him late. I mean, they weren't even in the top 5, and then they just jump in and they're able to get him. They have better things to sell him on than we do here at Sam Houston. So, going to be tough here, but we have a bunch of players that we are interested in trying to get here. This is another transfer, run stopper, defensive end. So we're going to hard sell him. We're just going to have to hope that he likes these things, right? We're going to have to hope that, that's the right things to try to sell him on. We got to just take a risk here. But I think it's a worthwhile risk for some of these guys, some 3-star players. It's a little weird. I kind of wish they would just kind of put their overall up instead of treating them like they're a prospect or a recruit. I mean, they are a recruit, but they are a player that's probably actually played already. And again, we don't have time to figure out what this guy's interested in. We're just going to have to look at our best things to sell him on and just sell him on it. So that's kind of what we're going to do here. Trailing here on Briley Brown. Looks like he's going to go to Texas State, but we're in first place with some of those other guys. Dwayne Millhouse still in first place. We have CJ Turner we're in first place on. And Quinzavious Warren we're in first place on. So adding some 3-stars to the class is not too bad. So some guys that, again, likely starting the trail on. This guy's probably going to TCU, so makes sense. He is a junior, so it would make sense he would probably go to a bigger school than Sam Houston to play out the last few years of his college career. But would have liked to have gotten like kind of an instant bit of talent like that on the team right away, because we just lost so many seniors. You know, this is a team, Sam Houston. I didn't really realize it when I was picking them. A lot of their top contributors were seniors. So here's Bryce Sams. We've fallen to second place on him. Gonna try to stay in the fight. Just putting these last bits of points on these guys here, 10 points here. Anything helps. You know, might as well max it out for guys that you're really interested in. And we're going to get Terrence Hicks, the 2-star, who's actually a 3-star defensive end from Spring Branch, Texas. We're not too bad on defensive end, so we probably won't even play. But CJ Turner commits. Devontae Tran commits. Lucas Sam Sula commits from Plano, Texas. So things are looking pretty good on that end of things. And Yates, that strong safety, is trending towards not committing to us. But Sam's, we've jumped back up over USC, it looks like. So things are going pretty good for us. We're going to have a really good linebacker group moving forward, for sure. I mean, and then Jamarian Peterson commits to TCU. Not all that surprised, but we are now going to start hard selling here on Quinzavious. Going to try to get him locked in here. And we're just going to hope that we can find the right one here. And it's going to be time to get to work. This one's pretty common. We're just going to have to hope, or the clutch. We're going to go with that one, actually. We're going to hope those ones work out. So this guy is a JUCO sophomore. You know, not the best, but hopefully is a guy that will commit to us. I don't know. Dwayne Millhouse looking pretty good. Bryce Sams looks pretty good. Caleb Bryant looks pretty good. Another transfer freshman, though. So that's a good get if we can get him in here. Again, just put DM the player on there. Want to get all those hours that you can. And, yeah. So this guy, we're going to try to get 2. These are some left guards. Already offered them why am I forgetting? We already offered them the scholarship, so just going to try to get to send the house to get that maximum influence in here. Maybe this is the last week of this transfer late recruiting period, so maybe we can come in here and steal some of these guys. This guy's actually a 4-star, so that'd be a nice player to kind of get in there and kind of steal here late. Kind of wish I would have noticed them a little bit earlier. Could have got some influence maybe the week before, but we'll see what we can do right now. And we get Dwayne Millhouse, so that's a positive. We get Caleb Bryant for the right end. We get Quinzavious Warren. We get Austin Kuberski. So we don't get Ryan Yates. He ends up going to Utah. So here's the class, actually. Some transfers mixed in here as well, but also some really good high school players as well. So we get Bryce Sams. So we get that one left, that 3. We do get one of the 3-star left guards. So Cornell Bowling ends up going to Northwestern. That's a little disappointing. I really wanted to get him. I wish we would have maybe got in on him a little bit earlier. But either way, we do get John Cabral as well. He's a 2-star, but it's good to just get that talent in there. So this class actually ended up, say it with me, filling out quite nicely. The 69th ranked class, which is actually pretty good. We're over Purdue, we're over Boise State, we're over Virginia, right? So pretty decent class, all things considered, especially from where we were starting, where we were going after a lot of 1-stars. We're probably not going to be going after too many 1-star prospects in this upcoming season. So some players got better. Jace Bauer up to an 81 overall. Again, I'm not sure. It's these players, this is where it kind of says this were players who progressed, but I don't know what they're progressing from. It just gives you like a green up. So these are players who for sure got better. So that's a positive. But some of these other players you see further down in there, there's also green arrows the more you go over to the right. So, yeah. I don't know who got better exactly, like in terms of overall, but some decent players on the defensive line. Linebacker, you see those linebackers, Mitch Melton, That's why we went after so many of these guys. So many of those linebackers. You see a lot of them. They're okay, but, you know, in a year or so, I think we're going to be a lot better at linebacker than where we are right now once these guys are in our system for a year. So here are our new coaches that we hired. We have 30 points to spend, and we're going to spend them pretty well here. And we're going to focus here on receiving game for a recruiter. Simple fact, I'll show you next episode. Our recruiting, our wide receiver room is decimated by losing so many seniors. So we have to get better there, and it has to be through recruiting. So that's something we're going to focus on in this next recruiting class. So our offensive coordinator that we hired, our new one, has the architect ability here. And this is really big. Look at that second one, limitless. Chance to increase random skill cap and level up. He has that for quarterbacks and a bunch of other positions. So that's a pretty big one to get, honestly. His recruiter abilities look okay. Nothing like special. But our defensive coordinator has really good motivator, actually. Fully maxed out for quarterbacks. Fully maxed out for DBs, so that's like a pretty big deal here. 3 of them for linebacker and defensive line, so pretty nice stuff right there. Pretty good hire, honestly, so that is a positive right there. So tactician looks all right, nothing special, but the motivator one looks really good, and then having the architect one for the offensive coordinator is pretty big too. So we're looking through here now, doing some conference realignment, and I wasn't sure how much I was going to do. I knew we weren't going to change conferences, but we are going to get the MAC somewhat accurate because UMass is joining the MAC in real life next year. So we're going to get them in there. Not going to steal anyone away from the MAC to add to Conference USA, but as I was going through here, this gave me an idea of what I wanted to do. And what we're going to do here is, Cal, you're going back to the Pac-12. Now, it's not going to be the Pac-12 once we're done here, but it is going to be the Pac-8 again, which is like super old school. So looking through here, I was wondering, who do I have to kick out of here? Stanford. So Stanford, you're going back to the Pac, going back over there. We're not going to take any of the Big Ten teams and put them back in the Pac-12, but I thought it was just ridiculous, some of those schools joining the ACC. That's just a joke, so that's not going to happen. So we're adding some teams here to the Pac-12, Pac-8 from the Mountain West, of course, because I feel like in any scenario, they're going to get rated. We got Boise State added in there. Then we're going to take Nevada. We're going to add them to this new Pac-12. I think it just makes sense here. Fresno State in this new Pac-12. Got to add one more team here. Wasn't sure who to add, but we were going to take Utah State. I think Utah State makes a lot of sense to add them in here. So that's the Pac-8 rebuilt here, somewhat now an actual conference. The Mountain West now down to 8 teams, kind of get rated, but I think this is the most realistic, not realistic in terms of what's actually going to happen. I personally think the two teams left in Pac-12, I think they end up in the Mountain West actually, but yeah. Then we're going to have a little bit of fun here. Notre Dame, you are going to the Big Ten. I don't think Notre Dame ever actually joins a conference in real life, personally. I think Notre Dame just stays independent because NBC is paying them so much money for their TV deal, so I don't think that's actually going to happen. But UConn, I was like, where am I going to put UConn? And, you know, Conference USA is mostly a southern-ish division, but Liberty's in Virginia. And so you would think, honestly, that they would maybe look to expand a little further upwards with Connecticut, and we're going to add UConn in there as well. So, what would it be? 11 teams now strong here in the Conference USA with the addition of UConn. I don't think that would actually happen in real life, but we're going to play UConn every year now. So, there we go. already going up to Virginia. So looking through here, our schedule, going to add Rutgers on there. Want to get them back. Want to beat Rutgers. Hawaii, we are going to, I believe we keep Hawaii on the schedule. We do take Air Force off the schedule, actually, and replace them with Syracuse. So we're actually going to spend a lot of time on the East Coast this season, playing Rutgers, playing Liberty, playing UConn, and now playing Syracuse. And then we have to go all the way out to Hawaii as well. So that's the schedule right there. Rutgers, Hawaii, Liberty, UConn, Syracuse. And then Western Kentucky, who we need to get revenge on. Then going to keep Texas State on the schedule. It's a rivalry game. And then Middle Tennessee State. I don't remember playing them last year. And then we got New Mexico State, UTEP, Kennesaw State, and Louisiana Tech. I really don't remember playing Middle Tennessee State last season, if I'm being honest. So here is a quick kind of look at our recruiting update here for our class. And you see a big difference compared to last season. No 1 stars, some 2 stars, a couple 4 stars in here, but a lot of 3 stars. So I think this will be a recruiting class to really help build our team moving forward. And looking forward to it. Got to get some wide receiver talent on this team because we don't really have it right now. So I didn't show you what our current roster looks like or what our current depth chart looks like because I haven't really decided yet on where we're going to go with the depth chart just yet. I'm not sure who the starting quarterback is going to be. That might sound weird, but could be Jace Bowers. You know, played well in that bowl game. But it could be Rudy Wooden as well. He is a freshman starter. And we do have some coaches with abilities now where he should progress a little bit faster as my phone goes off a bunch. Really appreciate that. But so I'm not sure who's going to be our starter just yet, but I will let you know that in our first episode. So I want to thank you guys for watching this. Thank you guys for supporting this series for the first season. And yeah, be sure to hit subscribe, be sure to hit like, and I'll see you guys next time for more Sam Houston Dynasty. Peace.